How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I finally got round to watching it. It took me about 4 hours to get through it. It's boring, very boring. It's that boring. With it taking 4 hours, I fitted in. I tripped to McDonald's, walked around my garden, I went for a walk in the sun, and I'm 3 beers in, and I've only just finished it about half an hour ago. So yeah, try to give it a chance, and it's just, the story is just boring. The characters are wooden still. Nothing really got developed in this whole episode. It's just fucking boring. Like, there's some good characters in it. In this episode, there's some good characters that come out of it where you think, oh, I'd like to see a bit more of them. But overall, it's still the same with repeat offenders doing the same bullshit, specifically CHAD-riel. She is the biggest fucking Karen in the world in this episode. Far worse than the other 2 episodes, in my opinion. Every time that she's on screen, she's just either attacking people or being catty to people, which I suppose is both the same thing. Obviously, you've probably heard of the infamous horse scene, and we'll get to that because it is as funny as you think and completely unnecessary, but fuck it, everything in this show is. Alright, so I'm just gonna have a little sip of beer to get through this. Okie dokie. Let me start off with Alan, who somehow was being captured by orcs through that tunnel. He ends up with a bunch of his elf patriots, colleagues, family, whatever. So they've effectively got all these elves here for slave labour. So we had Elrond in the other episode going to the dwarves effectively for slave labour to help building Celebrimbor's forge. And now we've got a bunch of elves that are now having to build or dig holes for the orcs for some fucking reason. But they're probably not all elves. I mean, he doesn't have pointy ears. So I don't know. The show takes a lot of twists and turns that don't really lead down anywhere. So yeah, that's pretty much that whole scene in a nutshell. And his whole fucking episode in a nutshell, he's just digging holes, makes a bit of an alliance with this man, and that's it. It's not boring talking through this, but honestly it took me 4 hours to get through. So yeah, it's just not that good, but we'll see if we can get some some good insights or something that's good in it. Don't hold your breath. So Galadriel's on this boat panting. So she effectively has been taken aboard by a Númenórean ship here on Halbrand. That's one of the 2 facial expressions that she has throughout the whole episode. So yeah, she goes on, he eats the gruel, bumps into Elendil, who personally for me, I actually liked him. Thought he was a good character. Probably the only good character in the whole episode. So it'll be good to see a little bit more of what he is and who he is in this series, because obviously they can't take too many liberties from the actual source material. So Elendil takes Galadriel Halbrand on the boat. He's got, get the scene, okay, you can see it there. He's got Galadriel's dagger, just decided to just keep it for himself. So they go past a load of big shiny buildings, a lot of big shiny statues. Probably taking a bit of liberty from the trilogy films, but obviously member berries always keeps you engaged. So they go through a big ass bridge, walk the streets, basically, yeah, run into this fella, and then they meet up with Muriel, who is the Queen of Númenor. So they all do this little Game of Thrones-y sort of scene where they all meet up in the, I don't know what the fuck it's called, a big room with loads of nobles and commoners and whatnot. And then Galadriel spiels off all her titles. Fucking, she's everything under the sun. Reminds me of that scene in Rocky where Apollo Creed's got about 20 fucking nicknames. That's what it feels like. So she's up her own arse, basically making out that she is owed all the favour in the world by these Númenóreans because of the fact that the elves gave this land to the Númenóreans a long time ago. It just plays into her character. She's just a bitch. Basically, she's just a full-on bitch. So she says all these fucking titles, and Halbrand just says, I'm Halbrand. Just Halbrand from the Southlands. That's it. Yeah, supposed to make you laugh, but it didn't really make me laugh, to be fair. So things move on. People laugh. Blah blah. Halbrand does the sneaky, robs Galadriel's dagger back. Don't know how, but he does. They go upstairs, or up the stairs. They don't go upstairs. That's probably coming in another episode. They go up the stairs. They greet each other. Halbrand gives her a dagger back that he's stolen. And then the bit that gets me, and you can click on it to be fair, but let's have a go. They're being watched as this happens. And apparently the Queen Regent Muriel, whatever the fuck, she doesn't see this happening, which is ridiculous. And I can't understand how the show writers just left that in, because they're being watched. You're literally being watched on the stairs when Halbrand gives Galadriel her dagger back. It's silly. Didn't make any sense. So anyways, we go to Isildur, who is a shipmate of some sort, a cadet, wanting to join up with the Sea Guard. So that's basically it. Doesn't really introduce anything into the story. Effectively just filling time. They say something mad on the beach. Points back at the ocean. Says something mad. Got his shell horn there. You know, of the sea. Nice little touch. Isildur greets his sister, Arian, whatever. I can't do these voices and these fucking names with my accent. I'm sorry. So Elendil goes to see Muriel, talks about Galadriel. To be honest, I can't really even fully remember what was said here. As I said, I watched this over 4 hours and hitting and missing all day with this. So yeah, they go back to the second most pointless scenes in this episode. The first most pointless is later on. So yeah, diggy, doing the digging, talking, having a good conversation. Orcs come out, get to work. Orcs sound like they do in the Peter Jackson films. Comes out, gives them water, slits one of the elves' throats. So sad, well, so sad. Again, this is made up when you're supposed to actually care about, but you don't because he's on screen for like 2 minutes. So all the sad music comes on. All makes you get really sad in the feels, but it doesn't because I don't fucking know who this character is, nor care. But, you know, this is the things. They fit these sort of sad scenes into episodes like this, and it doesn't really do much for you. It doesn't have any emotional weight behind it, so you don't really give a fuck about this character at all. So, Arondir decides, I'm so angry, and I'll chop this tree down. That's effectively what happens. He decides to start chopping out this tree, says some mad elvish stuff to it, and then there you go. Starts chopping the tree down, which is all good. Again, fucking pointless. Completely pointless. Galadriel thinks he's in Assassin's Creed. Starts jumping from building to building, jumps down. Elendil sees her, and then they decide that they're going to go and look for a paper MacGuffin, which is supposed to give them some more clues and insight into, I presume, Sauron's whereabouts. So he says, it's half a day's ride. He says, ride? And then this happens. So she goes from Master Karen to riding the fuck out of this horse, looking like she's having a hell of a time on it, if you know what I mean. Like really ramming down on this horse. And she ends up with this facial expression that looks like it's been sellotaped on. Looks like she's had tape stretched on both sides of her face into this weird fucking Joker laugh. But that is the happiest, and probably is the happiest you'll get it throughout the whole season. So enjoy it. Even that horse looks fucked off and confused. So yeah, that was fun. And it was done in slow motion for a bit as well. They slowed it down for artistic looking whatever. It just didn't look stupid. Anyway, so yeah, they move on. But yeah, she's slamming down like fuck on that horse. So she's probably enjoying it. So yeah, we go on. Halbrand decides he wants to become a blacksmith. But he says, no, we can't become a blacksmith because you don't have the crest. You need to wear the crest to become a blacksmith. Great, having the episode out. And then Halbrand's sitting there eating his fish stew. Nobody likes him. He sees this fella's got a crest. So he's like, okay, fine. Probably steal this crest off this man. And he does it by buying everybody drinks. So Halbrand's getting everyone pissed. Ooh, what's he doing there? He steals the crest. Incredible writing. Just really good. Top-notch stuff. This is what a billion gets you. So they find him, goes to give him it back, and they're like, nah, disrespecting me. So they put a beating on Halbrand for a little bit anyway. And Halbrand's like, call me Halbrand. As he's beating these people, putting the beating on them. He's like, call me Halbrand, who I am. It's fucking daft to be fair. So anyway, so they go and find the paper MacGuffin, which is all great. Plato walks in, presents, walks off. Great. We find that it's a symbol. I think it's somehow linked to Halbrand. Again, this is probably not the most interesting video, guys. Sorry, because I fucking switched off halfway through. You probably hear in my voice. I'm 3 beers in, and I'm just going along with the waves at this point. So yeah. So we get to our Irish travellers at this point, not gypsies. Don't say gypsies, Irish travellers, Harfoots. So yeah, they're all in the half-footy place, whatever that is. Largo sitting there with his broken foot. They have a nice little conversation about something I can't really even fucking remember, to be honest. And then she starts looking through Black Friday Gandalf's constellation map thingy. No, sorry, it's not Black Friday Gandalf's, it's Sadek's constellation map. Basically a reason to get Lenny Henry into the show. making him look through all these stacks of paper. Again, just padding out the episode. This episode could be done in 20 minutes, but instead you need to justify the fact that this spends $1 billion for the season, which is about 8 or 9 episodes, so they pad the fuck out of it. So yeah, carrying on. They do this thing where they all remember people who have died. Okay, sad. Somebody gets killed by bees. Lenny Henry's character calls him an idiot. It's mildly amusing. Great. Again, what's the point? Silly. So yeah. Discount Gandalf emerges. He sets his paper parchment thing on fire. Let's see if I can find that scene. Anyways, yeah, sets fire to his little parchment thing. He's just that much of a fucking idiot. So yeah, just sets it on fire. Ends up causing a big ruckus. Brings a load of stuff down on top of him. Pops out of here. Out of the top of a sack that he's been covered in. Pops out, there's his head popped out. Great, fun, so much fun. Goes along, everybody now knows who he is. Shocking. Sabbath, Lenny Henry, Baxter, saying, oh, she's young, it's fine. Everybody is okay to go on the caravan trip tomorrow because they migrate for some reason. Great. Naughty says, oh, sound, yeah, that's fine, but needs to be responsible for Black Friday Gandalf. Great. Don't go puppet show. Great. Elendil starts imparting wisdom on his children. Great, great, great. Honestly, great. Yeah. So CHAD-riel, L'Oreal goes to find Halbrand. Halbrand's been locked up in a cell because he's a naughty boy and making a big kerfuffle all around the city. So Galadriel goes there, gloats for a bit. Cheers. Tells him how he's the king of the Southlands. Something she figured out by going to this random place that absolutely wasn't just put into the episode, just so she can go and find out who Halbrand actually is. But, you know, that would be a conspiracy theory, I suppose. So, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Says, oh, yeah, you're the king of the Southlands. All I see is an elf who won't put down his sword. We all fucking wanted to at this point. So, yeah, Galadriel's a badass. Oh, just looking at me now. So, yeah, something gets said. She's far too boring to even comment on. So, yeah, they had to migrate. Largo Brandyfoot, he's on a bit. His back's gone. Don't know how the fuck he's walking on that ankle that got snapped by Black Friday Gandalf, but that's another matter. Gandalf's been sitting in the back of it, and I don't think he realised all the way he pops out. But it's the thing that gets me. The man can now they enlist his help to push the caravan. So yeah, he's effectively just used as slave labour. A lot of people are in this show. So they decide to run a mutiny. We're going back to the elves. They run a mutiny. They'll start breaking the chains, start taking the cloth ceiling off this little enclosure. So all the orcs start burning, which is not something that happens in Tolkien's lore. Doesn't happen. They don't like the sunlight, but they don't burn up like fucking vampires in it. So yeah, silly. They do some Matrix shit with these chains to kick them in the face, because why not? Elves are apparently fucking dialed into the Matrix, which is awesome. Arandir runs up the chain, does some Neo shit again. That comes down, and then one of the orcs screams, "Release the warg." You think, ooh, this warg's gonna be nasty. Nope, it's CGI, the CGI warg, which, okay, yeah, it would be a CGI warg, of course, but it's a CGI warg, looks like a CGI warg, if you get what I mean. Like, good CGI's got the ability to make you go, yeah, I can tell it's CGI, but it kind of looks real. This just looks like a full-on CGI warg. It's silly. So this warg comes out with these big googly fucking eyes on it. Big massive head but tiny body. Starts munching down on all these prisoners, which is sad. Not really, because you're supposed to hold some emotional weight over these characters and you just don't. So yeah, Arandir saves the day. Shoots one of the orcs shoots the warg with a spear, sorry. And then he goes to climb out. And as he climbs up, his mate, who's ahead of him, Revion. See, this is how much you just don't care about the characters. They're just not important. He gets peppered with arrows. He's out onto the open wasteland, gets peppered with arrows by the orcs. And then turns around, so sad music plays. And then, yeah, he falls, dies. Arandir gets pulled back into this hole that he's been climbing up, goes to get killed, and then they say, bring him to Adar. So the whole the episode title is called Adar. And then Adar gets about 4 or 5 seconds of screen time. Like, what? So this is just the image of Adar, who's apparently is half human, half orc, because that's a thing. So yeah, that was the whole episode. It took me about 4 hours, as I said, to get through that. And I sound very defeatist about it, but this is what the show has done to me. It just made me feel defeatist. There's just nothing going on. It's shite. And I know I sound like a broken record and every other YouTuber who has that opinion, but I go into these episodes with an open mind, and within about 5-10 minutes, Galadriel's annoying the fuck out of me, and there's no way around it. she's just annoying. She's just wooden. Doesn't really have any sort of nice traits about her. She speaks like she's in Wuthering Heights. She has this personality on her that is just so unlikable. All the men fucking idiots in this, and they're treated as such. Oh, and the Harfoots look like the Lost Boys who finally grew up. That's what I was getting from them, Lost Boys. So yeah, that's it. I can't wait for next Friday. So we'll have to see. I'm going to continue watching, obviously, because I'm committed at this point. But yeah, it's just no good. It's just no good. Go and watch House of the Dragon instead. Anyways, bye.